All right, good evening, everybody. You guys are joining the Viking Nation Live post-game show after a fantastic showing by our Lowndes Vikings. Guys, if you weren't at the Palace tonight, you missed an offensive, defensive, and special teams performance by your mighty Vikings tonight. Lowndes takes this game over the Collins Hill Eagles 37-16 to advance to the second round of the GHSA state playoffs. And we will travel to Swanee, Georgia next Friday night with a kickoff at 7:30 p.m. to take on the North Gwinnett Bulldogs. But we'll talk more about that upcoming game on next Thursday night's show. But guys, for tonight, we're going to celebrate a huge victory for this Lowndes program. Man, uh, Armand, Chase, you guys with me?
Yes,
Oh, yes,
sir.
sir.
Hey, we got guys. We got to start talking about this bounce back by Lowndes, and not just on continuing a fantastic season, but the way they bounced back tonight in dominating fashion after a heartbreaking loss to Valdosta a couple of weeks ago. Chase, tell me your thoughts, your initial thoughts on that offensive game plan tonight for Lowndes.
Oh, we're back to being balanced. We're back to doing what we do best. Step on the accelerator and don't take it off. And I mean, let's face it, they had no answer for Bubba. I mean, him and Khalil Williams, they outperformed and outshined by miles tonight compared to what they did in the Wintersville Classic. Great bounce back by both of them. Jace getting comfortable. Uh, Offensive line keeping him upright for 99% of the game. Um, that was a well drawn out game plan by this Lowndes coaching staff.
Absolutely. Armand, Chase was talking about basically a welcome back Jace and Bubba Brown after the performance against Valdosta. But really, we can say that about that entire offensive unit. Man, I'm thinking about Khalil Williams. I'm thinking about Mason Woods had a fantastic game as he usually does. But there were other players that got involved in that offensive game plan as well. We saw Waylon Weidinger run a fantastic route across the middle, got some positive
Yeah.
yardage. Armand, talk about a complete game performance by Lowndes tonight.
I mean, it was good. I think you saw some familiar faces and some new spaces on defense. Gavin played corner. We had number six. Well, his name just Marcus. Can't think of his last name right now, but he played the Mike position, the middle linebacker. But you also had Braylon Neal come back.
Yeah,
Run hard. You had the return of Danny Vickers, the name we've been screaming out. I guess the coaches are watching our show because we've been asking for Braylon and excuse me, Danny Vickers. So you had a very complete game, and you seen them just wear them down, and that that's what I think happened. And then also Collins Hill, let's face it, if you watch this game, Collins Hill was played a very sloppy game. I mean, a lot, a
yeah, they
lot of
really did.
penalties, man. It's midnight. Why? Because it's a lot of penalties, penalty after penalty. Like every other snap, it was like holding, offsides, or whatever it was. I was just like, come on, Blue, stop calling. Just keep the flag in your pocket so we can go home. But overall, though, solid performance from start to finish for the Vikings.
Yeah. Chase, Lowndes got the ball first to start the game. Didn't do much with it. Punted the ball to Collins Hill, and Collins Hill on that first drive looked really, really good. What we kind of expected them to do all night long. They drove the ball straight down the field. They got that big old Deuce Gerald's involved in the offensive game plan. They dinked us and dunked us all the way down the field, stalled and kicked a field goal after their initial drive. What was your thoughts for Lowndes getting that second possession? Was there a premium in your mind that Lowndes needed to score in a hurry?
Absolutely, you got to answer back, especially given the way that Collins Hill was able to move the ball against our defense. You have to answer back. I mean, it's almost a must. You've got to punch it in. Big plays in that first drive, and then Bubba on the fade ball, uh, and then an immediate quick change after that. Uh, great two drive. Uh, great great offensive drive, but great defensive coming out and just getting after Collins Hill's quarterback.
Yeah, Armand, let's talk about that defense a little bit. Chase is exactly right. You know, after that first drive, it seemed like Adam Carter, Coach Matt Garris, really made some adjustments and took away what Collins Hill does best. And so, what was your overall thoughts on how tenacious that Lowndes defense was tonight?
I mean, they play like they had something to prove, and and they wanted to show everybody, hey, you know what? Forget about that game that happened a couple weeks. We put it behind us, and they got back to doing what they do. I mean, flying to the ball. I mean, they played. The defensive line was nasty. They big hit after big hits, and guess what we got this week that we didn't get last week? Turnovers,
Turnovers, a bunch of them,
Yep,
turnovers, a bunch
3 of
of
them.
them.
one
Yeah,
of them for a touchdown.
is exactly, and that's what I was saying. Like Lowndes, every game we've stolen possessions, and give it back their offense to get more points, and that's what was missing a couple weeks ago. But this week back on track, and I think that we had Booker number
Okay.
3. He got a big interception when we needed it. Just to put the nail in the coffin, and look, you can't complain. You win by 3 scores, and it's on to the next one.
Absolutely, man. Man, that defensive backfield were ball hawks tonight for the most part. They had some coverage breakdowns on a handful of plays, but for the most part they were ball hawks. They seem to be getting better and better and better. But guys, you say what you want, but that defensive game plan was just spot on. So
Hmm.
Chase, let me ask you about the special teams for a second, because most fans just focus on offensive production, defense stopping the opponent. But man, talk about how big our special teams units, the punting game, the entire kicking game was special tonight. Talk about how important that was tonight.
Well, I mean, we especially in that one moment there, you know, drive stalls out. You're in an odd position on the field. You're basically in no man's land because it's really not a great punt area. It's out of field goal range, but you're still out of punt.
Yeah.
And they dialed up a fake punt. First time I've seen Lowndes do that in a long, long time, and it was a great call. Uh,
Man, was
Madden
that well
back there,
executed?
that was great. I mean, he sold it, sold it, sold it, and then all of a sudden just took off and dove for the first down.
Yeah.
Uh, took a big lit, took a big hit for a punter to take. Something you never want to see a special teams guy take a hit like that. But I mean, stayed with it. Great play by him, and then Aiden Andrews with the 47-yard field goal. Uh, you know, Great big leg from him, and he's a special kid. Being able to put it in the end zone consistently the way he has all year long, that's a weapon. Especially when you got speed guys like Collins Hill's got. You really want to keep it out of their hands.
Absolutely, man. So guys, is this kind of what you guys expected tonight, or were you expecting a much closer game? Armand,
I
I
don't
think
know
we
what happened
lost.
to him.
Oh, I think we just lost. Let me bring him back.
Oh, there
Okay.
we
Armand,
go.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard that question, but
I did.
is this the game you were expecting tonight, or did you expect
Yeah.
something much different?
This is what I was expecting. I expect the Lions to bounce back in a major way. And you know, play wonderful on all 3 phases of the game, and and like I said, these boys got something to prove. And you know what? I just want to say, look, I'm proud of them because it takes a lot
Yeah,
of resilience. It takes a lot of in what's it in intestinal fortitude, whatever you want to call it, to to bounce back and come out here and perform like this. Sometimes teams come out and they could come out flat, but no, they came out ready to play. Their first drive stalled, but then you know, came back and just put points on the board. And the one thing I will say, they took advantage of a very very undisciplined Collins Hill team, and that's
yeah,
that, and that's what I say. Now Deuce is as advertised because that last we down there in the red zone, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching him specifically, and he was wrecking havoc. And then we finally decide, hey, you know what? After 3 plays, let's run the other way, and we scored a touchdown with Jason. So that kid is as advertised, and man, hats off to Collins Hill, but at the same time, how about the Vikings?
Yeah, I don't know this for sure, Armand, but to me, it would be logical to know that you're going up against an LSU commit, 5 star in Deuce Gerald's. They don't play him just in one position; they play him
Hmm.
all over the place. So, to me, it would be logical, and I wouldn't be shocked if they signal in to Jace 2 plays on every call, and he calls the one that runs away from Deuce Gerald's.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, Deuce,
that's what I would have
Deuce,
done because that dude
yeah,
is a man.
Well, I
yeah.
mean,
That's
we did it. They did exactly what me and Armand talked about on Thursday night. They made him do a lot of running. They tired him out,
Yep,
and then Collins Hill trying to use him on offense really just. I think it overworked him tonight. I don't think that he was. Watching us on film doesn't really do justice to our team's speed. So
that's
I
right.
think it was really a shocker to them at how fast our guys could fly around.
Armand, Les, man, Chase brings up a really good point. I've seen it all year long. These offensive game plans from opponents make no sense at all when they keep trying to run wide on this team. The
Yeah,
team speed for Lowndes is just too fast.
yeah. I agree. I agree. Like we're not the biggest up front. We have quick. We're not the smallest, but we're not the biggest either. And we have
Yeah,
fast and athletic linemen, linebackers, and the secondary. And I think Lowndes plays to their strength. If I was the OC, I would run between the tackles, and I would do and attack that zone. Stress that zone. That's what I would do.
yeah.
Consistently. But at the same time, Lowndes does a good thing. What the defense does is they get their opponent.
Uh oh, man, he's got us on the edge of our seats.
I mean,
Hey, Chase, Chase, you were talking about the punter a while ago that made the 4th down conversion. His name. I wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to him. His name is Jacob Madden. So well done to both Aiden Andrews and to Jacob Madden and the entire special teams group tonight.
absolutely.
Armand, we
Those
got your
guys.
back. Go ahead, Chase.
I said those guys are 1,000% crucial and never get a lot of love for what they do. But I mean, you got to remember those guys put in a lot of work every week and don't get a lot of shine on Friday night. But their
That's
work
right.
ethic is great. They do a great job throughout the week, and they get very little shine on Friday. But they showed up huge tonight.
Yep. All right. So it looks like Armand might be experiencing some connection issues over there where he is. So, guys, we're gonna wrap things up. When you see the deputy sheriff pull away, it's time to go because everybody's just about left the area now. So I'm expecting them to turn off the lights at any time now. So you guys have any final parting shots before we call it quits?
Yeah. Look, we got a tough one in North Gwinnett, Viking Nation. We're gonna need everybody to travel up this morning. And look, I can't wait. I got a good feeling about this trip.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh
listen,
yeah.
guys. I want to give you guys an update. Hillgrove uh, also won tonight, and guys, that's important because if we go up there to North Gwinnett and win next week, and Hillgrove wins their game, then in the 3rd round, Lowndes will host Hillgrove in the quarterfinals. And when you're a 2nd seed, and whenever you can host a game in a 3rd round, that's always a big bonus. So let's cheer on our Vikings and let's cheer on Hillgrove next week as well. So Chase, I'll give you the final word.
Hey man, final word is 7 to 8. You can't relate. The human joystick is back.
I love it. You know what else I love, guys? Whenever we can celebrate the 10th win in a season, it's been a great year. And that's exactly where your Lowndes Vikings are. They're 10-1 on the season. They're not done. Plenty of juice left in these legs. So get on the road with us, up 75. Head on over to Swanee, Georgia next week, and let's cheer on our Mighty Vikings against North Gwinnett next week, guys. So for Chase, Armand, I'm Larry. You guys have been watching another great episode of the post-game show on the Viking Nation Live. Have a great weekend. God bless every single one of you. And as always, go Vikings.
Go
Go
Vikings.
Vikes.